Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode of Ignition Time. In this episode, we'll explore the full impact of the premature end of the $300 week unemployment benefits. You'll get the real story on this channel. Welcome to our channel, everyone. My name is Dr. Chhoda with Ignition Time. This channel, the Ignition Time channel, is about the country, the economy, as well as our money. You'll get a link to all of our resources in the description section below, so make sure you check that out. Let's start with this headline on your screen from CNBC. 26 states ended federal unemployment benefits early, and data suggests that this entire plan is backfiring. It is not, I repeat, not getting people back to work. In fact, Homebase and UKG, which essentially do time management and payroll services, what they did is they issued separate analysis indicating that employment has not increased in states that ended federal unemployment benefits early. Now, as you know by now, 26 states, a majority of them Republican states with Republican governors, withdrew the federal assistance in June and July ahead of the official September 6th expiration date. In fact, economists believe that there are other factors like concerns about the Delta variant, childcare responsibilities, and early retirements. In fact, some people have completely dropped out of the workforce. In fact, there are other concerns that play a much larger role than unemployment benefits in getting people back to work. So what is happening? UKG, which is a payroll and time management firm, found that shifts among hourly workers in those states that ended federal unemployment benefits early grew at about half the rate as states that continued the benefit. This is the exact opposite of what someone might expect. Again, they found that shifts among hourly workers in those states that cut benefits early actually went down. In other words, they grew at about half the rate as states that continued the benefits. So, cutting the unemployment benefits early has not, I repeat, not resulted in individuals getting back to work. On your screen, you'll see all the states that opted out of federal unemployment benefits. 26 states, largely Republican-led states, have ended their participation early. Most are cutting off all benefits, but some are only ending the $300 weekly payment. You see the states in the darker font that withdrew on the 12th of June or the 19th of June. You see the states in blue that withdrew on another date. You see states in light blue that withdrew on the 31st of July. And you see the states in gray that have not withdrawn early. Now, this is interesting. In states that ended benefits, shifts grew 2.2% from May through July, but they grew 4.1% in others that actually kept unemployment benefits. This is a very important quote from Dave Gilbertson, who's a vice president at UKG. Unemployment benefits were not the thing holding people back from going back to work. There are other elements out there, particularly in their personal lives, making it really difficult to go back to work. Now, it does not appear that differences between different states, some states make more money, some states make less money, actually influenced any of this, because both groups, in fact, states that cut benefits and states that did not cut benefits, were growing at similar rates, according to Gilbertson. So similarly, employment fell 0.9% in states that ended federal benefits between mid-June and mid-July, but actually rose. Yes, employment and job creation rose 2.3% in states that kept them, according to data published by Homebase, which is another payroll and time management firm. This is very important. Gilbertson also said this. It's an early view, there's no question. It takes a while for folks to be able to rearrange their personal lives to start a new job, but I feel it's a pretty strong directional indicator. Now, folks, we do need data for another month or two before economists can definitively say whether the early termination of the unemployment benefits actually led to people essentially not going to work or going to work. But there's no question that all of this data is telling us something. In fact, here's a quote from Nick Bunker, who's the economic research director for North America at the Indeed Hiring Lab. Data suggests there's no clear evidence that unemployment programs going away early led to a significant increase in employment growth or job finding. So that is what is going on, folks. I want you to let me know in the comment section below whether you feel the premature end of the unemployment benefits has had an impact on return to work. Because at the end of the day, what the Republican governors and what all officials want is for people to return to work. Let me know what you think. On your screen, you'll see a 7-day average of reported first and second doses of US vaccinations. First doses, or new people getting their first shots, are far below peak levels, but they are up 31% over the past week. Vaccination does indeed have a lot to do with this. In the meantime, here's another headline from Fox Business this time. Jobless claims dip ahead of benefit expiration. Continuing claims fell to pandemic era low. So what is happening? The number of Americans filing for unemployment benefits fell last week as the expiration of unemployment benefits draws nearer, as the September 6th date rolls around the corner. The Labor Department just said that 385,000 Americans filed for initial jobless benefits in the week ending the 31st of July, which is below the prior week's downward revision of 399,000. In short, a smaller number of people are filing for unemployment benefits for the first time. According to Mark Hamrick, who's a senior economic analyst at Bankrate, he said this: initial jobless claims slipped below the benchmark 400,000 level for the first time since the pandemic began around Memorial Day and have essentially hovered there since. So this is good. This is a positive sign that less people are filing for unemployment benefits for the first time. However, this still does not take away from the fact that the premature end of the $300 a week is indeed hurting some of the most vulnerable amongst us. As you know, the extra $300 a week is going to expire on the 6th of September, and 26 Republican states have ended the unemployment benefits early. So the private sector also added 330,000 jobs last month, down from 680,000 jobs gained in June. Analysts were expecting the addition of 695,000 jobs. It's very clear that job creation has indeed stalled. In fact, analysts were expecting that the US economy would add 845,000 jobs last month. The economy actually gained 850,000 jobs last month. But folks, things are changing, especially with the Delta variant. Here's another important quote, again from Mark Hamrick, who's a senior economic analyst at Bankrate. With schools opening, vaccinations still on the rise, and the forthcoming expiration of elevated unemployment benefits, the way should be cleared for more employment gains in the coming months. That's barring the truly unforeseen. Let's hope we don't have an unforeseen event that makes things challenging for all of us. Please click the like button. Please subscribe. Please enable notifications. My name is Dr. Nitin Chhoda with Ignition Time. This right here is some information about me. Please click the like button, click subscribe, enable notifications. I would really appreciate that. That really supports the channel, and that is your way of rewarding us for the work that goes into this channel on an ongoing basis. A lot of effort goes into the creation and the production of each video. We spend between 4 and 6 hours, sometimes as much as 8 hours, to produce each video. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next episode of Ignition Time. Take care. Bye.